Alright, I think I remembered all the things this time. So, hello everybody. We are back to Dark Souls 2 yet again. And, oh, I did forget something. I forgot to mute Discord notifications. Let's see, I'm learning. For 8 hours, sure. That'll work. Yeah, so back to Dark Souls 2, but I would be, I mean, I don't want to jinx myself, but I would be surprised if we don't finish the base game today.
Yeah, we're basically on the boss.
Yeah, from at least based on what I know of, or what I've been told, pretty much on the boss. And while I'm not very good at Dark Souls, I'm not that bad at Dark Souls, I don't think. I guess we'll find out. Oh, what is that? Dragon remnants.
I think that's a covenant, like, summon.
Huh. Try summoning. What happens if I... Well, I'm gonna do the boss a few times. So I assume that's a co-op character summon, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, now let's play the... Does David remember how to get back to the boss game?
I think it's...
Oh yeah, it is this way. I remember this. And then it's a really long run back because it's Dark Souls 2. Oh, do I need the ring out? No, it's opening.
That's just a long ass open.
Yeah. David's back finally. I mean, I streamed, was it last week?
Yeah, we did a Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah, my sense of time is all messed up, because I went, out of town for like a 3-day wedding. So it feels like it's been several weeks since I last streamed. Because you know how when you like travel somewhere, and there's like events happening and like actually things happening, then it feels like a bunch of time has passed compared to if you're just sitting at home for a week.
Absolutely, yeah. 1 week, like, traveling is exhausting.
Yeah.
Compared to, like, a week at home.
I've had the craziest... Yeah, go ahead.
A week at home can be exhausting, too, but in different ways.
Yeah. I have had the craziest travel month. Let's see, in the past month, I've been out of town, I think, is it 4 times or 5 times? I think 4 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot, and not just like day trips either. Like there was QuakeCon, which was like a week. Then we went on a family trip, which was like a few days. And then I flew to LA for, movie stuff and hanging out with you and Allie, and that was a few days. And then I just went to this wedding, which was like 4 days, counting travel time.
Yeah, I bet you're glad that, like, oh, thank God I'm home for, a second.
Yeah. Yeah, they were all fun trips. I definitely don't regret going on them, but also, I do have a job. like, like, I have to work at some point. It'd be really... I'm not going to get it the first time, but it would be really funny if I got this the first time. Oh, yeah, there. Fumbled the roll. I'm surprised chat didn't poop its pants at the mention of movie stuff. I feel like it's like Iron Lung movie is old enough news now that people aren't phased by it. It's just like, oh yeah, that thing that's still happening and isn't out yet. I'm told we're near the end, so
yeah, it'll be like Silk Song, where everyone's like, oh, it's bullshit, it's not coming out, and then it comes out.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way it's not going to come out at this point in some form. Um, and also, did you see now there's like now there's a couple indie horror adaptations happening, including there's a Puppet Combo movie I just saw
that.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I mean, that one's like obvious, like, of course, like that's such a obvious answer for like what should we adapt. It's like, well, like they're literally all 80s slasher films. Like it's the easiest possible horror game to adapt to film, except maybe no, the easiest would be like oh, what is that? It's not Until Dawn, which I think they did do a movie of, didn't they?
They did, I think, and it wasn't. I heard it wasn't. No, it was a remaster. I can't remember. I thought they did though.
It just came out. Okay, yeah. I think I'm not like a huge whatever that developer's named fan, so I didn't really. Not that I dislike them. I'm just neutral.
Right.
But I thought I saw that there was like a. Keep trying to call it Dead by Daylight, which is a very different game.
Yeah.
And I know that, but in my brain, it's like Until Dawn and Dead by Daylight and Dead by Dawn, for that matter, which is Evil Dead 2. Yeah. I hit his shield. Just chip damage. Are there even any souls in this? No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, I thought that was going to be a 3-parter. Oh, the promotional materials say who will be alive at dawn. Yeah. Yeah, I always get those two confused. I remember watching a playthrough of Until Dawn, and I thought it was pretty enjoyable. I don't know how enjoyable it would be to play, like, as a video game, but it was fun to watch.
If I was doing a Puppet Combo movie, what I would do is I would make it like that college film project, like The Welder. Or
oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I forget the name of it, but the really janky college horror film project.
Yeah, where I think it was called The Welder, which this years ago, like we as in like New Blood discovered this on YouTube, that there's this like college, like it's like someone's final project or like something they did with their friends in college or something, called The Welder, and it's like a slasher film, and it has this amazing kill in it where he kills this girl by like gently dropping like it's like several layers of plywood one by one on her, and then just doing like a Goomba stomp on the plywood, and this entire water balloon full of blood just like splooshes out from under the boards, and it's amazing. And everyone should go look that movie up and watch that scene right now because it's hilarious.
I found it. Hold on.
Okay, you can put it in chat.
And like scrubbed and just see him putting the plywood on.
Yeah, it's amazing because he's like, it's like the most gentle tipping them over ever, and she reacts like she's getting like slabs of concrete dropped on her. So good. I think I watched that whole thing. I don't remember much else about it except for there's like a twist at the end of some sort. It's like, oh, this guy was the killer.
Oh, hold on. I gotta sign into my proper account.
Did I try pancaking these guys? I don't remember if I did or not. Oh, that was a 3-parter.
This video is from 14 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Jesus. Oh, no!
That was not! Oh! Oh, that was not! 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 Oh Yeah, shout out to whatever whatever now in their 30s college student directed the Welder and put it up on YouTube.
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
It is amazing.
I would be so proud of this. It's so hilariously jank.
It's great. Like, man, it's in almost anything, in like games or movies or just about anything, it's like I'd rather see that there was like effort and enthusiasm put into it, and it's sort of janky and cheap, rather than like nobody put any effort into this. Like it's just a paycheck, like blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
It's like those are just nothing. Like the opposite of, like, to me it's like the opposite of good isn't necessarily bad. The opposite of good is nothing. It's like what AI art is.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this isn't, there's no, I have no feelings toward this at all. This is nothing. This is like, it's like a cup full of sawdust. It's just, there's no, yeah, it's not funny, it's not interesting, it's not, you know, thought-provoking. It's just, oh cool, you made a computer spit an image out.
I can tell at least they had fun making this.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just like, yeah, just printed out by a studio on a CEO's budget and just like, you know, put it out there, whatever.
Yeah. That's why I'm such a big Hatchet fan. Like, are those movies good? No, they're terrible. But everyone had a blast making them. Like, yeah. Like everyone, you can see everyone was having a good time. Man, I've always been terrible at these duo fights in these games.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like this one's kind of like Ornstein and Smo, but no pillars. I think like it's been a while since I've done this one, but I think usually like I try to lure the faster one away.
Yeah, I
deal with her first.
I'll probably have to do that. There's been a couple fights in this game that are like, well, this is just like budget Ornstein and Smo.
Yeah, it's very much they just put multiple bosses in a room and are just like, all right, deal with it.
Yeah.
Whereas like at least Ornstein and Smo, at least the room feels like it's made for that encounter.
Yeah. It's easy to say that boring is worse until you play a game so bad that it genuinely makes you hate being alive. I disagree on that. I will go for the genuinely bad game almost every time over something that is just nothing. That's why I don't play Ubisoft games. Like I just, something that's like, this is just something that was created to make boardroom stocks go up. And it's just nothing. It's just all the same mechanics something else has done, but regurgitate. Like, I don't play those games. I will play terrible Slavjank games from the early 2000s, and some of those are really, really painful, but at least it's something. Like,
what would you consider, Big Dandy, what would you consider, like, a game that terrible? Because like,
and whatever you say, like, I will guarantee you I have played worse games, because I'll tell you what my pick is, and I love it. But yeah, what would you consider like games that make you hate being alive? They're so bad.
It's funny because like the internet has totally changed the definition of like worst games ever. Because I remember when Callisto Protocol came out, everyone was like, this is the worst game ever made.
So dumb.
And I played it, and I was like, actually, that was kind of fun. It wasn't a great game, but
it's a very
like,
solid,
fine.
Yeah, it's like a solid 7 out of 10. And for like Zoomers, and I guess now older Gen Alpha, it's like, oh, it's only a 7 out of 10, because they don't know what it's like to play actual trash. Like, boot something up on your your family PC or whatever and have it be like not even playable.
Yeah, tech war. Like now we're talking a bit more. What I'm thinking.
I think I would put, so my pick for, I mean, I can't, it's hard to say, I guess, what the most painfully bad thing I've played is, because there's a couple picks, but among those would have to be Mad Sector.
Mad Sector,
yeah. Because, and it's because it has, like, some of the most, it's like overtly, aggressively, like, hateful controls and like gameplay design. And I am so glad that game exists. It's absolutely fascinating because it is not only is it like complete and utter pain to play, it is like a handcrafted like passion project. So, because I'd say like in this case, like an asset flip falls under, unless it's really funny. Oh man, almost got her. Unless it has stuff that makes it really funny, it's like asset flips to me fall into that. This is not even bad, it's just boring because it's nothing. And Mad Sector's great because like all of the enemies are like this guy or his friends like hiking up their jacket to cover their head so that it look, and like taking pictures and making that into like a 2-frame sprite animation. And it's like, it is handcrafted artisanal like suffering, and it's great. You'd rather play Tech War than Dear Esther? I've never, it's funny because for a few years I was like making walking sims, and I've never played the standout, like I've never played Gone Home or Dear Esther or oh, what is that one? Edith Finch.
Yeah.
I've never played those. Or let's see what other. Yeah, it's those are the ones that I can think of where it's like these are like the genre defining games. I've never played them. I've played Vanishing of Ethan Carter and what else? I'm trying to think of ones that really stuck with me. I mean, Proteus is my favorite one. Not to be confused with Prodeus, which is a very different sort of game.
I think my favorite out of all of those games was The Beginner's Guide.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's one of my favorites, too. Yeah. That one's real good. Yeah, Beginner's Guide is really good. And Outer Wilds, I know Outer Wilds isn't really a walking sim, but that's...
Yeah, that one's great, though.
I gotta play it. It sounds like it'll be exactly my sort of game.
It's very creative.
I think with that, the problem is that since I know this should be a game that oh my gosh, that I love, I'm terrified to start it at the wrong time, if that makes sense. Right. Like, so I just keep waiting for it, like, well, I want to wait for the perfect time to play this, and that hasn't come up yet.
I've heard there's an expansion for it. I haven't played it yet, but apparently it's very horror oriented, which is interesting.
I know that there is an entire there's like an entire planet with tornadoes, which,
yes,
like, I am a absolute sucker for any game that has a tornado in it.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm always like, ooh, tornado? Just make sure to not look up anything about it. Yeah, I haven't. I also need to play the open sewer.
Oh yeah.
Previously Open Sewer, now renamed Open Sewer, because they released that in early access years ago, and it completely bombed.
This is the Infra people, right?
Yeah, it's their follow up to Infra. But it's like a survival crafting like city building like RPG sort of game. It's very weird. It does not sound like something I'd normally be interested in, except that, you know, the Infra devs made it. But it like came out and flopped, and then they spent a while, like some years, I think, just redoing it, or like giving it this whole makeover, and did like a big early access update, like re-release update sort of thing, which seemed to have worked. They had like, I don't know, it was like 16 reviews at Mixed or something like that, and now they've got, you know, over 1,000 very positive. So it seems to have worked pretty well. And I know that they have said that the Infra DLC they'll work on that once they're done with Open Sewer. So I'm like, well, it's gotta sell well then if I'm gonna get my Infra DLC.
I had no idea they were planning to do Infra DLC.
Yeah, it's set on a prison island.
Oh.
Yeah, which is interesting. What's my thoughts on other devs using marketplace assets but changing them up? That's a personal creative decision you have to make. I don't think there's an objective, this is the right way or the wrong way to do it. I personally do not do that, because hold on, let me let me get to a point where I can think, and then I'll answer.
This is that was not a big weapon.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of working well at first, and then I wasn't finding a time to get in any hits, so that may not actually
they don't
be
stagger or anything.
Yeah. So I don't. So okay. In indie development with a small team or solo development, almost invariably there are going to be areas where you have to make use of stock assets or bought assets in some way. Be those meshes or textures or materials or sounds or you know, things like plugins that do like I've used plugins for Unity for things like different shadows or color adjustment, post-processing stuff, if we want to go way back. So there's always some area, unless you're an absolute like genius level savant and you can literally do all of it yourself and you have recorded all your own samples and like I do a lot myself, and there's still like I will use stock sound effects pretty regularly because it's really, really difficult to have all of the sound effects you need just recorded yourself. I'll use stock textures because that's another instance where it's like it's really hard to gather everything you need yourself, although now that textures.com isn't really a free option, now I've started just knuckling down and trying to do it myself. But that's all to say that it's a decision each individual developer has to make where the handcrafted elements need to be and where purchased not as handcrafted things need to be. And I err more on the side of handcrafting stuff. Partially out of there's a personal pride element, which isn't necessarily a great reason, but I do take pride in you know, the stuff that I make being mostly, you know, directly from me. Then there's also the element of like I've been doing this long enough and had success in different areas, and I don't necessarily know what parts of my process are integral to the things I make working, if that makes sense. Like I've done a lot of making games on my own and just sort of like doing my best in areas that I'm not great at, and it's really hard to know if that's part of what makes those games work for people or if it isn't. And so far I've for my own stuff that I'm sort of heading up, I mean obviously I've worked with other people and with stuff like that on Gloomwood and Secret Agent Wizard Boy and Dusk, after the single player. But yeah, anyway, so it's a creative decision that I'm like, I'm okay kind of giving up some uniqueness and agency in some areas where, like, okay, I just need a sound effect of like a fire crackling. I don't need that to be like, I don't need to get my own in the wild recording of that if I don't have it. I'll just look and see what is available in the libraries I have or on free sound and adjust it to my needs. But I don't do meshes. I don't really do materials. Those are areas in which I feel like it's important to me to have some more direct creative control over that, and it's important to me to have to solve the problems and ask the questions that are involved with trying to do those things on your own, because sometimes it means you have to come up with creative solutions to things that you wouldn't have to come up with if you were just like buying good assets from someone or having someone make who's better at it make them for you. So that's my long answer, which is I don't judge anybody for using marketplace assets or using them as a base and touching them up to make them kind of what they want. That's just not part of what I do. Real close to the edge there, yep. Oh, I thought I was... that was a dumb mistake. But yeah, it's a complicated... It's kind of a complicated question. Leads into a lot of related discussions about, like, creativity as a whole, and, like... Because, yeah, it's a complicated topic. Gloomwood was an interesting test bed in a way because it's kind of gone through both phases. Right, Dylan?
Yeah.
Where it's like it started as a solo developed game way back, and it went through a period then of being a mostly like a just two-person game with some New Blood oversight, and then gradually turned into actually now quite a large team. I don't know that there's any real things to draw from that, like any real like deductions to draw from that. It's interesting because you can see the game in kind of both forms. And that does bring up some questions of like, for me, like, it's hard to know, am I holding myself back by sticking, just kind of staying in this solo tier of development, or is that like an essential part of the creative process for me? Because the biggest problem that I have when I'm working with other people is just that I don't really know how to come up with ideas unless I'm working on the stuff unless I'm doing that stuff myself. The ideas just don't really come in the same way.
So Mike, I think part of it is because it became a New Blood project at kind of a weird time for New Blood. After Dusk was actually quite successful, New Blood expanded quite a bit, and there was like an expectation for all of our games to increase in like production values, and Gloomwood was kind of centered in that.
Yeah.
Where like there was, it went from being this this expectation of, oh, it's it's gonna be kind of like
immersive sim Dusk.
Immersive sim Dusk
in terms of scope and stuff.
But then like as New Blood got sort of more known and people started associating us with like a certain quality, we also like raised our own production values to sort of meet that, because everyone at New Blood wants to, like, everything we release, we want it to be like the best thing we've released so far. And I think that process just kind of, it became, we have to raise the production values. Okay, now the team is expanding because of the raised production values, and back and forth, and that's why that's kind of where Gloomwood sort of landed.
Everyone. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's been both like, a lot of amazing stuff has entered the game because of that, but it's been like growing pains of, going from being a solo developer to having to manage people, and that's a different, that is a different skill set than solo making your stuff.
Yeah, there's an expectation for and a striving for really absolute top tier excellence and stuff at New Blood, which I think is justified, and it's resulted in some incredibly good games that are out now and some that aren't yet. And that's kind of where that was kind of how it worked with Gloomwood, was that, striving for, well, can we do this? Like, this is good, but can we do it better? That just kind of naturally ended up in people who were really good at filling roles coming in and filling those roles, instead of it being just Dylan and I doing our best. And I think in a lot of ways it has resulted in a better game. And certainly it's objectively resulted in a higher fidelity game, just because, I mean, you can make prettier stuff if you have people who are actual professional, modelers and texture artists and stuff doing, or like concept artists and stuff coming up with it, rather than just me and Dylan flying by the seat of our pants.
And this happened to, like, the three main games that this happened to at New Blood is Gloomwood, Ultra Kill, and Fallen Aces. Like, if you play, the demo that Hakita gave us for Ultra Kill, you would not even like recognize that game. Yeah, it was so different. And,
that's right. I forgot that Ultra Kill has also gone through a pretty extended period of facelifts. Like, there's a bunch of original, like the original assets for things have been changed.
And Fallen Aces too, man. Like, the early stuff that Trey showed me, and compared to the stuff that he shows off in the Weedings.
Oh wow, I'm dead. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that he shows off in the internal meetings, like for episode 2, like it's hilarious, the quality jump.
Yeah.
And it happens to all of our games currently.
Yeah. That's why if they're
probably to an unsustainable degree, like I don't think we could push this that much more.
No, I agree.
Yes, we're probably at the limit of it.
Yeah. I think there is a ceiling that can be reached with the because it's always a balance between, like, the sort of spontaneity and improvisation and stuff that kind of make New Blood games work well artistically, and also the realities of, well, if you have 30 people working on a game, then there's a certain amount of, like, actual professional seriousness that has to happen just to keep the project going. Like it can't be flying by the seat of your pants when it's like 30 different people all doing different tasks. Can't be like with Dusk where I would just kind of go off and make random shit and then come back and Dave and I would go over and just be like, I don't know, we'll change this, whatever. It was like all just like in the make it up as we go, sort of. And that just, you can't do that with that many people. And I think there's probably a point at which like too many people get involved, and now suddenly the advantages of that agility and spontaneity of a small team, you don't have quite those as much anymore. So there's this, I think there's a balance of like more people, like it's like the risk reward sort of dynamic of more people equals more professional, more polished product, but also equals less kind of punk rock attitude.
Yeah, you start having to deal with like budgets and scheduling and
yeah,
oh, I have to work on the important stuff now.
Yeah. Jeez, that was close. Come this way.
Yeah, but at the same time, because of the the additional people, that's why the art for Gloomwood has gotten so good. And
yeah, oh, that's that pit again.
No, not the pit.
Oh, the pit has killed me so many times, more than once at least. I don't know how many times, but I would have said I should die 0 times to the pit, but I guess I'm not that smart.
There was a point in time where we had several conversations for Gloomwood where we were potentially going to cut research entirely.
Yeah.
Or we were going to do it in a very like, oh, you take a syringe and it just gives you like stat boosts, like System Shock 2 style. And the fact that we had more people on staff like Cody and Dom and all that to actually go in and make view models and animations for like the Doctor transforming and actually becoming a different creature encouraged us to sort of develop that out into like now Gloomwood's research is like absurdly like overdeveloped.
It's that like, never would have happened without the full force of the right now Gloomwood team. Like that is not having multiple different animations and creature hands and forms and stuff and all that. That would not have happened if Gloomwood were still a like David and Dylan project.
It's not in the game yet, but the fish dog form is my favorite one because it has the AVP2 like
the jaws
closing around the camera.
I know, it's so funny how we've like managed to get in so much AVP2 and AVP1 and into that.
It just never leaves my brain. I'm just always like, that game rules. I love it.
It's so good. Oh, I almost did it again.
No. That's so close.
Wow.
David effectively did move out of Unity. He's been using Godot for his projects.
Yeah. I still have now it has to be Unity Pro subscription. Thanks, Unity. I still have a subscription to that because if I want to do updates to games I've already released, I have to have Unity. But yeah, I don't plan on ever using Unity again right now for like a new project. The only foreseeable reason I could see to go back to using Unity for like a new thing, right? Well, it wouldn't be a new thing, but I could see maybe going back to it if I wanted to do like a polished up sort of remastered version of any of my really old games. Although, because I don't think I'd want. I've kind of toyed with the idea of doing like a specifically Moonsliver remake. I don't know why that one specifically, but that one is always the one that stands out in my head as like the one I'd want to polish up. But every time I think about it, the more I'm like, I'd rather just do like a free update that polishes up the game. You know, like just adds more settings, fixes some of the issues, you know, stuff like that. I'd rather do that than do like a remake. But anyway, right now that's the only reason I could foresee going back to using Unity myself, because I'm really liking Godot. There are some problems I have with it, but for the most part, it's just a straight up better experience for me. Unless I'm doing particles. I really do not like the Godot particle system. You can make it work, but it feels pretty restricted and bare bones compared with what I'm used to in Unity, let alone what people have to work with in like Unreal. Like the Unreal particle system, from what I've seen, is really nice.
I think the Unity one's really good for the level of fidelity most indies work at.
I always found that I could do whatever I wanted to do with it. Which, yeah, I'm not like a... That's a bad position to be in. Oh, jeez. I was locked onto the wrong person.
Oh my god, they just like perfectly combo staggered you.
Yeah. Do I ever think about using Unreal? Not really. Evan and Johnny use Unreal. So that's what Wizard Boy is on. And it seems like really, really good for some things, but a lot of it seems really kind of overkill, I guess, for what I'm doing. And there's some stuff that, like, so I know just because you're using Unreal doesn't mean that you get locked into the smearing, the smear campaign that is modern visuals. Like, I wouldn't have to use like nanite and lumen or like upscaling or blah 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 or any of that, but that is something I'm just so vehemently against visually right now that, like, I don't think I'd want to even pick it up and like be in, like, I'd rather just stay as far away from something that could make a game look like that as I can right now. And it has a lot of bloat. I mean, I think Godot is just about if there is a use case for Godot, I think I'm pretty much the primary use case for Godot. Whereas I am like the primary user, the features that they care most about in Unity and Unreal are not targeted toward developers like me. Whereas Godot is very, very much targeted toward someone like me. So I think it's a very good fit for me. Whereas Unity was at one time, I feel, and then just over the years drifted away from that. That may just be because I knew less and was doing less in Unity back in like the 2010s. But I don't know, like, I really liked Unity 4. And 5, like Unity 5 was nice, but there was some stuff that I was like, oh, that's weird. And then as the years went on, it just started getting so much more confusing and bloated, and they'd like introduce new solutions to things that were worse than the old solutions or were still alongside the old solutions. And I don't know, it just was weird. It, like, using Unity at the end, you know, when I was finishing up like Butcher's Creek and when I did chop goblins and stuff. At that point, it was just like, what even is this engine anymore?
Yeah, they just kept adding. They kept like announcing new features, and then like they would basically be abandoned like a year later. And it was like, what are they? They're just chasing like stock portfolio at this point.
Yeah, or they'd be like a big push for things that would be like targeted at like mobile game stuff. Then there'd be things that seemed like they were targeted at AAA studios, and I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah, and they blew like $1 billion on like that Weta acquisition and didn't like do that much with it.
That's right. Yeah. And like it was fun. Like an engine doesn't have to be made specifically for your tier of game development for it to work well for that. But like, yeah, Godot is just like there's problems and there's things missing from it, but the people it is made for are exactly like, okay, you're one person making a small indie game, and everything is kind of designed around that. And it's very nice. So then you can have like, well, you're a small indie game, so your game doesn't have to be 3 gigabytes. You know, the game I'm making right now, which is not anywhere near finished, but it's a good ways in. There's a good chunk of assets and gameplay functionality and everything like that, and it's like under 200 megabytes. Built. It's and significantly under 200 megabytes too, like fully exported. If that were Unity, it would be like 600.
Did you see how large the Deus Ex remaster is?
No, I saw like 1 or 2 screenshots of that and completely checked out. It's like, that is disgusting. I will never touch that.
It's like 20 gigabytes.
Oh my gosh, why?
And the minimum requirements were like a 2080.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Like, I mean, I guess I shouldn't complain too much, because like it's cool that there's that, like, it doesn't harm, you know, the ability to just play the original game unless they remove it from Steam, which would suck.
Oh, that'd be awful.
Yeah,
that'd be terrible.
But yeah, that it looks like everyone was saying Doom 3, but to me it looked like Quake Epsilon.
Quake Epsilon.
Yeah, do you remember that?
No, I don't. What is Quake?
It was
Epsilon?
like I think it was a mod pack for Dark Places. And it was like the, you know, high def, super amazing graphics Quake, and it basically looked exactly like that. It was kind of cool in concept that it was. I remember at the time, at least, I thought it was fun in concept that it's like, yeah, let's take Quake, which is an ancient, primitive looking game, and let's try and make it look like a modern game. But it looks really ugly.
Yep, I have seen this. Yeah. I posted that like Doom 2 remaster video a couple days, and I was like, yeah, it looks like this to me.
Yeah,
Quake Epsilon. Yeah, that's very funny.
Yeah, that's what I thought of immediately. Or nowadays it would be Quake 1.5. Yeah. Did you see some of the updated assets have misspelling? Oh no.
At least they're misspellings and not just AI gibberish.
I was gonna say, how much of the assets have been touched by AI, I wonder?
I have no idea.
Why is it 20 gigabytes? That's completely mental.
Yeah, newer version of Unreal, I guess.
Yeah. There's been like 5 different ones of those. What if Quake, but with modern rendering tech? Yeah. I mean, I'm talking years ago. I'm talking like more than a decade ago. Maybe there were others around at that point too. But I remember that one being that was like the big, look how pretty we can make Quake look. And by pretty, we mean, you know, modern shaders and stuff. Modern then. Now they're not modern. Oh, I thought that was single attack. Dang it.
Speaking of Unreal, how is Souls like Silent Hill optimization? I haven't tried neither of us have
No.
tried Silent Hill F.
I saw that came out and was immediately like, I will wish list this to play in like 3 or 4 months. Because the problem is I was planning on, oh, okay, next game I'm gonna sort of main on playing in the evening is Chronos. Because you've been playing that, Dylan, and you've been really liking it.
Yep.
And I played a little bit, and what I played was really cool. And then my brain betrayed me, and Borderlands 4 came out, and I have never,
like, fuck.
yeah, I have never once cared about Borderlands. But for some reason, I watched some footage, and it was like neuron activated, and it was like, hold on, I want to play this. I don't know why, but I actually really want to play this, and so I got that, and oh no, it's really fun. The Randy Magic hit, yeah, exactly. And it's just Rage 3. That's the thing. I was like, oh, this is really fun, and then it hit me. It's like, oh no, it's Rage 3. That's why I'm enjoying it, because I'm absolutely cooked, and I love Rage 2, and this is just Rage 2, but with like more loot. And actually, funnily enough, better writing. Despite Borderlands' reputation for the writing, like, it's unironically much better written than Rage 2.
Yeah, I'm loving Chronos. I'm playing it very slowly because my partner Ellie likes to watch while I'm playing it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll pick like we'll play like an hour of Chronos. So that's why I'm very slow on it, but
yeah.
I'm loving what I've played of it. I just finished the Steelworks area,
which the name alone sounds like something I'll enjoy. It's a Steelworks area.
Yeah, there was some amazing environmental art and lighting there.
Recommend giving a recommendation to try Borderlands 2. I might after this, I guess. So my only experience previous to 4 was I've tried, I think, 3 or 4 times to make friends with Borderlands 1, and it just, every time I start out and I'm like, okay, yeah, loot grind, but you shoot guns, I can enjoy this, and then I get maybe like a few hours in and I'm just bored out of my skull. Like, I know some people really like that game, especially now that it's old and nostalgic and it has like the soul or whatever, but like, that game is so boring. It's such there is zero personality to that game, because it's just like more crude Fallout, but there's no role playing, and it's just kind of not great combat, and like you don't even that's the thing that really was making me depressed, is it's like you don't even interact with shopkeepers or people like that when you go to sell off your loot. It's just vending machines. Yeah. Like, I don't know. But I understand. I know a lot of people really like that game, so obviously there's something I'm just not getting. But I have never been able to enjoy that. And so then when it was like Borderlands 2 is coming out and all people are talking about is how awful the writing is and how cringe the jokes are, and it's like, well, I don't think I need to try that. Then Borderlands 3, it's like, well, I don't need to try that. So I don't know why I decided I wanted to play 4. I guess because when they added in movement tech and like stole stuff from Doom Eternal and Rage 2, that it's like, oh, actually now this is my sort of game. And it is. I'm having a lot of fun. So I might go back and actually give 2 and 3 a try, maybe, but we'll see. I am morbidly curious about 3 because everyone has said, because I actually really like some of the gags in Borderlands 4. I really hate some of the gags, but I also really like some other ones. So I was like, is this actually improvement, or have I just been led astray? People to like, have I just been led to believe Borderlands writing is worse than it actually is? And pretty much everyone, even people who are like, no, like Borderlands has always been better than people give it credit for. Even people who are like that, they're like, but 3 was absolute dog water. Like, the writing in 3 was just the worst. So I am morbidly curious about that now. They have wall dashes. You're the second person that's mentioned that. So wall dash meaning like wall running, right? Because I have not found that. Maybe I need to. Maybe it just hasn't told me they have it. I've seen 2 people mention it has wall dashing, and I don't know exactly what that refers to in the game. It has a normal grounded like Doom Eternal style dash move, and which isn't implemented the best because it's just tied to your run button, and it only works if you're holding certain directions. Like you can't dash diagonally; you can only dash backwards and side to side. So honestly, I don't really use it at all. But it does have a double jump, and it has the like air glide thing from Zelda. Oh, that was so close. Jeez. I lost track of where I was. And those are both extremely fun. And it has a ground pound. Like, same animation and everything as Rage 2. Not that the Rage 2 ground pound animation is that unique, but it's like, it's the Rage 2 ground pound. Not as good. I will say, the combat's really fun. It's not as good as Rage 2's combat. I will shout the praises of Rage 2 combat till the end of my days. Everything else is better. Everything else is like, oh, this is just good Rage 2, except for the combat, which is not as good. Dash diagonally into a wall to preserve your dash speed. Oh, okay. I don't think you can dash diagonally, though. Well, I mean, no, I get you can. Right, if your side to side is diagonal to the wall, you can. That makes sense. Also, but the character. Oh, so Strider mentioned Kern or Kern. That's a really good game. That has some of the best like point and click puzzle design in anything. Kern. That game's great. Shoot, what was I saying? Oh, the character. So I inadvertently, I just chose the guy, the like tall guy with axes, because I was like, he sounds like maybe he'd be the least annoying of the characters, and it turns out he's like. So Dylan, do you remember Fallout 4?
Yes.
Do you remember the Silver Shroud questline in Fallout 4? Okay, so this character is literally the Silver Shroud, but for the entire game. And it is amazing. It is like, you could not make a more perfect character for me to want to play. I'm so glad I chose him instead of, because I'd seen some footage of someone playing as like the Siren or whatever, and it's exactly like, she's like, yeah, got the girl boss attitude, like millennial humor. It's like, I'd rather play as the guy who is just like shouting stuff in the bardic voice. Oh, if I was locked on to him, I would have gotten some damage in there. Actually, yeah, dodging toward them might be the... Ooh, stun lock. Now I'm not going to dodge toward them. Also, I think I saw that Nelson did some writing on Borderlands 4. like
Is there
Zalavir?
any game he hasn't friggin' worked on at this point?
No, or at least the number of games he has not worked on is growing lesser by by the year. It'll be now like it's like really random stuff too. Because for a while it'd be like, okay, well, yeah, he's a writer. He's done writing on all these sort of games. Now it's stuff like he's the main voice actor in the Hellraiser game that's coming out. Like, what? Where did that come from? How did you even get that? How did you open that discussion? Like, who do you even contact to be like, hi, I would like to voice act in this unannounced Hellraiser game? Has he voice acted before? I mean, probably, but like that's what I mean. It's just so the sort of meme people had going about me for a little while is like he is actually that meme where like every game ever made he is somewhere in it, somewhere in the credits. Got to bait one out and then beat up the other. Yeah, I know that conceptually. I guess I'm not quite sure how to do it in practice.
Hate to be that guy, but you know,
Get good?
Some armor might help at
Yeah,
some point.
I was wondering about that. I decided to keep going with Jester after that one attempt where I was really close and I just fell off the edge because I'm like, oh, well, I'm getting this, and armor's not going to protect me from gravity, and now I've just died to things that armor would protect me from like 5 times in a row now. There's that edge again. Any interest in Night Rain? Not really. I'm not necessarily uninterested. I don't know.
I'd say wait for to see what's in the expansion.
Yeah. A bit of damage. I'll try and just focus on one.
Even their roles don't have ADP.
Yeah. Upgrade Jester suit. I feel like it's against the spirit of the Jester suit to actually try to make it work, though. Oh! Just out of range.
Just off.
Honestly, it's reach that I... Oh, jeez. It's really reach that I could use.
Yeah, the normal rapier is pretty short. Like S stock would be better, but
yeah. Oh, I didn't notice how low my health is. Sweet. I know she's speedy, but it's really hard to bait her out. It's really hard to get... I think rolling behind them works out well, except that, like, if I roll behind them, they can't track me, but also I can't track them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then that happens.
And then that happens, yeah. Hold on one sec, I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
So what are some people playing? I'm still playing through Chronos. Oh, No One Lives Forever 1 and 2. Those games are great. Is the Blood West DLC? Are you doing the first expansion or the new stuff? That I can't tell if the endless mode got dropped or not. Like it came out or not, or if they just announced it. Isn't out yet. Okay. I know we published that game, but I usually keep my head in the Gloomwood area.
Alright, I'm back.
It wouldn't be Dave publishing the game unless I got an endless mode.
Which game?
Blood West.
Oh, yeah. I automatically reached for keyboard and mouse. Nope, we're not doing that. We're not Airdorf. Oh, Noita. That's a pretty neat game.
Yeah, Noita is cool.
It can be really frustrating, but like, geez, the like per pixel simulation stuff is so cool. Airdorf does.
Mason,
he did at one point. I don't know if he still does.
I can't believe the friggin' let me solo her guy does mouse and keyboard.
That was insane. That's absolute.
Yeah.
Like, that is absolutely a redemption arc for Souls-like on mouse and keyboard, because like, if that guy uses mouse and keyboard, well, the rest of us should probably maybe think about whether or not he has a point. I don't know. Dark Souls is a controller game for me, though. And there are not a lot of controller games in my mind. Most games I tend to prefer on keyboard and mouse, but not Souls. And in fact, I'd probably credit Dark Souls and Elden Ring with me actually kind of, I wouldn't say making friends with controllers, but not hating them anymore.
Right.
Because as an FPS guy, I never liked controllers, and it wasn't even an elitist thing. It was like, it just felt bad to me and took me out of the game. And I'm still not a fan of them for FPSs, but I'm like more adaptable to it now. Like, I can play a controller FPS if I want to, or I can kind of aim with a controller if I want to.
One thing I don't understand is how in these games, like, you have granular control over your movement speed with the stick, and I don't know how you're supposed to have that with mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
Like, if you just gently push the stick forward, you kind of like are in stealth mode, like you walk slowly. Yeah,
I guess. So this is one of the things that I kind of noticed. I noticed specifically when I was making Dusk, which is kind of tuning how the character moves when you're doing like small taps of the controls. Because I'd never noticed before until I was like really focusing in on movement for Dusk. It's like, oh, that's actually something that you use a lot in like PC FPSs, and I just had never noticed. It was like a subconscious thing. But maybe it might just be you learn to do that, because that's how you handle, movement speed in something like Doom when you're on like narrow ledges or playing, any Sandy Peterson level.
I think a difference though is that the AI in Dark Souls and such, they can't hear you when you're slow walking, but they can hear you when you're fast walking.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I did know that. Yeah, because it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Because like that's how before they added crouch to Elden Ring, that's how you got like snuck up on enemies, is that you slow walked up to them while they were turning around.
Yeah. Getting used to using gyro has made controller aiming so much more comfortable. Yeah, gyro aiming is great. I'm also a big, I mean, this isn't really controller in the sense that we're talking, but I'm a big trackpad advocate, because for me those make a huge difference too, where I can actually play like Quake or Doom on Steam Deck trackpad and not kind of feel, because like I said, it's never been like an elitist thing or like a esports my reaction time thing for me, because I suck at games. It's not about the needing that sort of precision. It's about the immersion. So for a shooter, on when I have a mouse, I don't feel the controls, like I don't really feel the controls between me and what's happening on screen. It's just very natural. And then when I'm trying to do that with a controller in a shooting game, I'm just feeling the slowness of the controls and the distance between me and what's happening, and it makes it really hard for me to kind of just get into the experience and enjoy it. Yeah, I've never tried Doom Eternal on a controller. I don't know how that's possible, but I've seen the footage of Hugo playing Doom Eternal on a controller, so apparently it's possible. I don't know how. I mean, I get, like, Dusk works really well on a controller because, if you don't need to very quickly switch between different points of aim, and you can handle that stuff with, like, your character movement, then there's not really a problem on controller, if that makes sense. Like, Dusk was never made to be something where you had to rapidly switch between target. You can play that way, and it works, but it's like the enemy behaviors and stuff were designed to not have to be really difficult to aim at. You wouldn't have to do any precise tracking to actually hit them, you know, so...
I get, like, daily reminders, like, requests for, people who want controller support for Gloomwood, which is, like, is something we're gonna do. But I'm always like, good God, how does anyone play a game with this many fucking binds on a controller?
Yeah, that's... I mean, I know how you could do it for Steam input, because you could just make, you know, some of the less used ones, just make them a radial menu. Oh no, I'm gonna die. Yeah, now I actually really care about controller support, now that I use Steam Deck all the time, because even if you use trackpads for aiming, like, if a game has built-in controller support, that's a lot less, like, finagling around with Steam input. So you can just take something like, I mean, heck, even with Quake, like, the Night Dive Quake port just has native controller support. So, and it works pretty well, so all you have to do to play Quake on Steam Deck comfortably, or all I have to do is just make the trackpad the mouse, and then everything else is already bound to, you know, controller buttons. That's one thing that's been really kind of nice about, you know, I'm working on a isometric game, which is, for all intents and purposes, like, the gameplay is a twin-stick shooter, and as the name suggests, that works really well on a controller. And it's been really cool to be making, like, an action game where I feel like I can actually make it play well on a controller, whereas with, like, I've always been a little lukewarm on controller support, not because I don't care, but because it's always been like, well, I can't do this well, because it's an FPS. It's going to be this... Like, in my brain, it's like, this is the substandard way to play the game anyway, and it's hard to kind of muster up the enthusiasm to try and to really put a lot of thought into that. But then with, like, the game I'm working on now, it works really well on controller, and it's been really cool to then be like, oh, I can actually make this play really well on multiple input devices.
Yeah. there's some games really shine with a controller.
Yeah.
And like the amount of thought that goes into like, oh, how does the character feel when you push the stick like this, and capturing all the little minute details. One of which that I think is like for controllers, particularly and platformers, like stuff like coyote time is super important to me for stuff feeling good. I think Blasphemous shipped. The first one shipped without coyote time, and then they got so many complaints about it that they added it.
Oh, how bad!
Later.
Yeah, I remember at least one person suggested having adding coyote time to Dusk, and I never did. I don't think it would have been a bad thing, but I never ended up feeling like it needed it. Maybe, and I never got, like, I only ever had, like, maybe one person suggesting that, so I never, like, actually got around to doing it, because it was like, I think it's fine, and no one else is complaining.
I think Gloomwood has a little bit of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
That's mostly just because you know me, I don't platforming and FPS isn't exactly my wheelhouse.
Right. Yeah, I think I think now I would have made a point to do that. Like I have like a standard I try to hold myself to now for stuff like that. Game feel stuff, whereas at the time it was just like, well, I'm just gonna do what I think works. We'll see if other people like it.
Dusk isn't really the game where if you don't have coyote time in Dusk, it's not like the end of the world, because you don't take fall damage, and there's not like death pits everywhere.
Yeah,
but it's like if you have a platformer like Blasphemous, where like you fall off the screen all the time and you die, or your main motion is moving between platforms, then you're going to interact with a lot more situations where coyote time is you're getting more from having it.
Yeah I never felt like it actually. There were some platforming related things that I did fix, or at least tried to fix in Dusk, mostly having to do with sloped surfaces. Because on the granary, since there's all those sloped roofs you run around on, it started to be really obvious that essentially, because your character is a pill, we all know this, that every character in an FPS game is a capsule. That means that I'm trying to remember if this was the issue. It was like your character capsule could be in collision with the ground, but in a way that... No. That's right. It was when it was going down sloped surfaces, because in Dusk you don't stick to sloped surfaces that you're going down. So that's why if you start going downstairs, you'll notice you're kind of bumping around as you go down the stairs. It's because every time you leave, that sloped surface, then you start falling. And that became a problem with really severely sloped roofs, like in the granary, because then you'd run toward an edge to jump, but technically you would not be grounded, because you ran off the slope. You're in the air now, and so you couldn't jump. So there were a lot of instances of, oh no, what is happening? So there were a lot of instances where I was like testing it, and I would press jump and it wouldn't happen, and it just felt like absolute garbage. And the way that I test games that I'm working on is I usually don't have like cheat codes or like developer commands or anything, because
I've noticed.
Yeah. And it's because and it depends on the game. Like this worked well for Dusk because of the sort of game Dusk was, which is that if I play through the content that I have every time I need to test something, then if there's something bad about the game feel or the the combat design, like it's really gonna stick out. It's gonna become unbearable by the time I've been working on the game for months and months. And so that was something where it's like it just kept happening during testing and it became unbearable, so I went and fixed it. And yeah, anyway, that
Attacker.
I saw what was happening and I didn't like it. There we go. See, I knew I'd get it with the Jester suit eventually. Your one problem with Thief was trying to jump while on downward slopes because there was pretty much zero coyote time. So yeah, okay, it's the same issue as Dusk then. You have proven yourself to me. Umstov, are you? Oh, is this Lady Death? It's like Nito, but attractive Lady Nito. That's pretty neato, if I say so myself. Now, be one. Attractive. Well, more attractive than neato. I'm saying attractive in a relative sense here. Slightly less hot neato. Uh-oh.
Surprise! New nether boss.
Yeah, I figured that would happen. So, but I did vanquish the others. Am I gonna have to fight them again if I die to her?
I don't think so.
Okay. That's good. At least it's not as evil as Elden Ring. In that regard. That really annoyed me in Elden Ring.
Yeah, it annoyed everyone.
Oh! Cursed! No! Bone mommy, yeah. Speaking of attractive women in Souls games, anyone else get that the Gwendolyn, or not Gwendolyn, Guinevere topless video in their recommends?
It's so funny.
I am so ashamed with how immediately I was like, well, I'm watching that.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's not, it's YouTube, so I know it's not going to be explicit, but like, those words call to me. It says what? Yeah, it was a random video that popped up in my recommendations where it's this guy. It's like, for Dark Souls 14th anniversary, I made Guinevere topless.
Yeah, he like deleted all the like the materials in front of her boobs.
It was actually a really interesting video. Like, not in the least because you see the absolute care and devotion that went into modeling her breasts. It's like, that was a man whoever modeled that, like, they really wanted to spend the poly count where it counted.
Isn't that like where Miyazaki was like, I didn't have the heart to tell him, so I just let him model the giant breasts, basically. Yeah.
It's like I think the exact wording was something like he seemed so happy and proud of his design.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really interesting video because then it also shows like exactly how the model file was set up, where it was like you could just delete parts of the clothes. They weren't like merged together, and then it's like her entire, like the entire back of her model doesn't have any faces, because the player would never see them. And the hands were also like absurdly high fidelity, if I remember right.
All the optimizations that didn't go to Blighttown.
Yeah, where Blighttown is... I love the fact that entire level is like, what? It's like 5 different wood prefabs. Like, it's just made up of like copy and pasted wood prefabs, which is amazing.
It's actually so mean that, I don't know where your souls are, but you probably want them.
Yeah, you're right.
Because you have like 74,000.
Yeah. okay so far. Oh, that's a 3. Oh, good. The hitbox missed me. Excellent. Dark Souls 2 hitboxes. No! That stupid pit! No!
Again!
Again! Blighttown is the only Dark Souls area made in PowerPoint.
It heard you talking shit.
Yeah, it did. Karma for not adding Coyote Time to Dusk. Yep. It's funny because you always kind of assume that bigger studios have it. And I mean, I guess the Dark Souls team wasn't necessarily a big studio, but like bigger than, you know, indie. And you always kind of assume that like they have it together and actually know what they're doing. And then you find stuff like that where it's like this entire level was created how someone who was brand new to Unity would create their first level. And it's like, it's kind of beautiful because it's like, okay, yeah, we all are in the same boat of the magic numbers machine is kind of incomprehensible to any one man. We're all just sort of doing the best we can with the tools we're given.
Even in like Elden Ring, you can find places where it's so clear an artist just like stretched or squished a model to make it fit the spot, and I always find it super endearing.
I love it. You like go into a corner and you can see there's several like giant house foundation prefabs that are just clipping into one another. There's a Heineken texture somewhere in the gutter.
Somewhere in the gutter. I didn't know this. That's hilarious.
That's incredible. I mean, I am obligated to say, fuck that shit, Pabst Blue Ribbon, but for the two other people who will understand that reference.
Well, that's why it's in the gutter.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if Frank were in the world of Dark Souls, he would absolutely hang out in the gutter.
Absolutely.
Ah! I didn't get my souls. What am I doing? Oh no, I'm dying! Oh, heal! 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 Oh no! Oh, they're gone. That's okay, I'm at the end of the game. Who needs souls? With all the warpy liquid... Yeah, the trash pillars! Those are the first thing that, those are the first thing that come to mind when I think of the gutter. Is those insane, like, one mesh trash pillars. End of the game until DLC. Yeah, until DLC.
Oh yeah, ever since my like source modding days where you use the Gordon, like green Gordon T-pose to gauge like the scale of everything. I use like default enemy T-posing as my scale for levels.
And it's a good way to do it. It was cool to, was it in the, it might have been in the documentary, but somewhere where they were mentioning that one thing specifically that they were trying to solve from Half-Life 1 was having a more consistent, like, scale to everything.
Right.
And it is really funny to go back and, like, look at Half-Life 1 and it's like, oh, this scale is completely borked up. Like, it makes zero sense.
Yeah. But it's kind of cool in places though when they are trying to capture like how huge some of the areas in Black Mesa are. Like the area with like the tentacle heads.
Yeah.
Like that silo is massive.
Yeah.
But it works for the scale of like how Black Mesa feels.
That area right before that. That area right before that with the, like at the base of the silo with the giant radiation pool is one of my favorite parts of the game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like visually
super
speaking.
cool.
Like that's one of my favorite, parts in Black Mesa. It's just so cool and massive looking.
Something we were talking about recently, because for the next Gloomwood area, we were potentially having an enemy with a rifle.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, how does like Half-Life 1 and 2 deal with this? And we joke that like we should have it so they're in like a black window, and when you kill them, they fly out. Their ragdoll
yes.
body flies out, like that part in Half-Life 2 where
oh no! The pit! The pit again! Oh, Chad is just saying, please watch out for the pit. I'm sorry, guys. Watch out to keep a pinned comment. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I failed you again.
The pit.
The pit. The pit of despair. Yep, you called it. I was so excited because her health was so low. Yeah, it's
that's we were joking about doing it that way, where it's just like a black plane mesh, and then you just see like the enemy fly out when they die.
Honestly, that would be pretty cool. I mean, maybe not the black plane, but honestly, it would be pretty cool to have some logic for if they're stationed at a window, it'll like shoot them out of the window when they die.
It's that kind of stuff is so like I love that kind of stuff when Half-Life does it, but Gloomwood it's so hard because there's gonna be some player who is like, oh, I snuck up the other way and I killed them, and they like randomly flew out the window even though I didn't kill them that way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, some Gloomwood players are really serious about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's great, but sometimes I get confused because I'm like, wait. Some people take games seriously? Oh, right. We gotta like be immersive and stuff. It's an immersive sim. Can't do like dusk logic.
Sometimes I'm still like, just fuck it. It's funny. Who cares? Damn, she let you get some fucking.
Yeah, I might just stick close here. I mean, I know I get cursed, but. Oh, it's not 3. Okay. Up. That one is 3, however. Whoa! Really? Okay. It's fun. Yeah, so I can get all that energy out in Wizard Boy now, though. Because there were some times where I'd suggest stuff for Gloomwood, and it was like everyone else was like, "No." Like I remember early on, really early on, I think we were talking about like what's a way to deal how do we deal with hiding bodies? Because we were debating whether we wanted to do all of the stuff that went into making them carryable and stuff, right. And I was like. What if you just, like, if you press use on a corpse, what if it just jibs? You can just make corpses that just, like, the jibs fly everywhere, and that's how you get rid of corpses. And it's probably good that we didn't do that, but...
Well, it's funny, because in a way with the bone saw, we kind of did.
Oh, that's true, yeah. That's true. The bone saw is exactly that, you're right. So it did finally make it in.
It did finally get added.
Yeah. No, I can get out all of my worst impulses with Wizard Boy stuff, especially since I don't have to build it. Like I can just come in and be like,
stuff.
Yeah, like I can come in and be like, hey Johnny, I think it would be funny that if you like, the bigger you make an explosive, the bigger explosion it makes, with stuff like that. Which, by the way, if you haven't tried it in Wizard Boy, if you take one of the little handheld ICBM missiles you can find in the professor's office and you cast Bigify on that like 100 times, you can set it off and it will literally explode every single room in the castle, and it will make your computer like it makes the game go to like a single frame per like 30 seconds for and then you
like
come back.
The Crisis Red Barrel
It
video.
is exactly the Crisis Red Barrel thing. Yeah, it's really funny.
Amazing.
What if you put the body in the suitcase? I mean, yeah, that. But you can do that with the bone saw now. No, I have some other thing, like, I really... Oh, that was I thought she was charging up her beam attack. Oops. Like, I'm trying to convince Johnny to add in a spell that switches gravity to whatever direction you're looking in. Like, it'll lock it to the axis, the closest axis of whatever direction you're looking in. So you can just be like... So yeah, I've tested this out like in a test project on my own just to see what you can do with that, and it's really fun because you can get like crates to stick on walls, and then you can like platform up the crates, stuff like that. So I'm trying to convince him to add that in, but that comes with a giant can of worms. That is okay. What about NPC pathfinding?
Yeah.
So, which I think the only solution to that is just, if you reverse the gravity of an NPC, because that would be the idea, is like, it's... Oh my gosh, my son is suddenly in here. Hi! That's where that horrible sound came from. Hi, buddy. What are you doing? Hi, you're not supposed to be in here. You're gonna eat all of my stuff. Oh, he's so happy to be up here. Anyway, what... Oh, that would be the idea, is that it's objects. You could switch the gravity of specific objects, so you could have a whole bunch of things that you make just go sideways and land on walls, and so it would have. Okay, no, don't press the power button. Okay, slight pause while I get my toddler out of the office. Hold on. Hi, bud. You need to go back downstairs. Come on.
Yeah, every character just ragdoll flying death for even like, oh, they just like took slight fall damage or took fire damage, they'll just go flying.
All right, back. Halo Infinite has your favorite player deaths because they never fixed a bug where people's limbs or head can get lodged into the ceilings. Oh, that's great. I appreciate that there seems to be a little bit more, like, developers seem to be going back to embracing the fact that having stupid, unrealistic ragdolls is a net improvement to any game. Like, I was really kind of, I was a little ticked off at Valve for this because, in Counter-Strike 2 for a while there was it turned out, I thought it was just good design, but it turns out it was a bug that accidentally resulted in good design, which made all of the ragdoll impulses like 2 or 3 times what they were supposed to be. And it was great. And I was like, wow, I'm glad that somebody had the genius, the design knowledge to realize ragdolls should just fly everywhere, and then they patched it out because it was a bug, and I was so annoyed. It's like, you literally made the game worse for no reason. It was so good. It would just, you'd like kill a guy with an AK, and the corpse would go like Gmod ragdolling everywhere. And it was so fun. Like, it made death. Oh, the pit again!
The pit.
I'm so sorry, everyone. This is a very good visual example of why I did not really succeed in the traditional job market. This is a great example of why, when I worked at a car wash, I was the stupid employee of the car wash, and almost cost customers several times due to negligence.
Damn it, David! Did you step into the pit in the car wash again?
Yeah, basically. Oh yeah. So, but you said that there's still like fun ragdoll stuff in Halo Infinite, and I noticed in Borderlands 4, maybe this is a bug that Randy himself will patch out. But there's points where where an enemy just it'll sometimes it's the big huge like scrap mech enemies where they're like in these giant mech suits made out of rusty scrap metal, it looks like. And then sometimes they'll just suddenly like jello ragdoll from an explosion, and it's really funny.
Amazing.
And I really hope that stays in, because like I said, stupid ragdolls are a net improvement to any game. Even when your game is trying to be serious and have emotional gravity, like having an unintentional, like, do you remember you remember in the, well, it's probably in the remake also, but in Dead Space 1, how you encounter the woman who has like her eyes are missing, yeah. And she like she gives you like the what is it, like the thing, the gravity gun thing.
Yeah.
Well, in the original release of the game, because of like if you ran it at like more than 60 FPS or something, every body bag in that room would just lose its mind. They would be like vibrating around, and they'd be like you know, Source Engine like sounds. And then also when she drops the thing that you're supposed to pick up and like dies, and it's supposed to be this like, you know, grim, disturbing moment, her ragdoll just like spins up. It like gets like launched into the air and spins around, and it's really funny. And
yeah,
I would not remember.
You posted of it.
Yeah. And, like, that scene would be nothing if not for that. Like, it's like, oh, okay, you know, try-hard, gritty, grim scene, but also with funny ragdoll physics. Then that makes it work.
So funny.
The true mark of a good Souls-like is whether you can roll to break. Yeah, I will say, out of all the things that you could genuinely criticize in this game, the only one that actually kind of gets to me is the fact that it doesn't have the funny roll physics.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, that's the only one where one of the only ones where I'm actually like, oh, I'm actually kind of disappointed. That feels like a downgrade. All of the other stupidity is just like, yeah, it's Dark Souls. It's stupid and mean. What do you want? But like, give me my stupid Havoc physics barrel, like give me ragdolls that you can get stuck to your own model.
There's like entire rooms of vases in Bloodborne, and every single person, like just like 100 messages of like time for rolling. Everyone walks in and just rolls and destroys all of them immediately.
It's amazing. It's so fun. It's just such a visceral, fun, basic thing to like break a bunch of stuff and have the pieces fly everywhere, and it's never not fun. I mean, heck, even the most like destroying stuff in games is just always fun. And even the most primitive renditions of that, like you go back and play like a build engine game, and it's like really, it's still really fun to blow up walls in that. You know, even though it's like the most primitive graphics. Oh, I might die here. I didn't get... Oh, no. Okay, yeah. So, I wonder if my... I'm being too aggressive now.
Yeah.
I wonder if my approach should actually be to use the stones. What do they call it?
The Healy stones?
Yeah, the Healy stones.
I will be right back.
Okay. I have 7 radiant life gems, but I could go acquire some more. I'll try using them this time and just see what happens. What kind of messages Gloomwood players would leave. That'd be really cool. If that mechanic weren't, like, proper work to implement, I mean, that would probably be really fun to have. Oh man, I'd love to do that in Bug Bite, the game I'm working on right now, which at some point here I'm gonna do a little, just here's an early look at Bug Bite, just to show people what I'm working on. But that would be a fun one to put that in also, but then I wonder, well, first of all, I don't know how you go about having the infrastructure and stuff to do that. But second of all, like, I don't want people to think it's a Souls-like, because there are a lot of isometric Souls-likes. I feel like I'm already gonna be like swimming upstream, making an isometric game that is not a roguelike or a Souls-like. Okay, so I might actually just pop one right now, and then wheel away. And that does help significantly. Wow, that helped quite a bit. That again. Getting stamina starved here. Am I backing? Oh, I was getting close to the pit. Stop. I almost fell. Man, why can I not? Why can I not make myself stop doing that? Once again, this is why I make video games instead of working an actual real job. So the Radiant Life Gem did help quite a bit. I'm gonna go get a couple of those from... Is it this guy that sells them? I can't remember who sells the Radiant Life Gems. I'm gonna have to bounce around to a few traders, probably. Making a game that's not a roguelike or Souls-like. Am I even an indie dev? I know, right? Yeah, that's one of my... Okay, no, he doesn't sell any. That is one of my fears about this game. It doesn't advertise... So, like, one thing that worked... Maybe it was someone back here. One thing that worked well with Dusk from a, like, marketing perspective is that Dusk very quickly and easily and visually tells you what it is. Because you see Dusk, you're like, oh, it looks like Quake. And it is like Quake. And that was novel at the time. And that's I think, a big part of why it took off at the time. And for Bug Bite, if you look at it, you're like, oh, that looks like a isometric roguelike with Souls-like elements. And it is not that at all. And in fact... it's a little hard to explain what it is. It's sort of a mashup of, like, there's some boomer shooter, there's some action RPG, and some other random stuff, and it doesn't feel great right now from an elevator pitch standpoint, and I'm concerned about that. But I stand 100% behind what I'm making. I feel like I need to figure out how to sell it to people. I get, how to not how to get people to buy it, but more in the sense of, like, how do I communicate to people what this is really easily and intuitively, because that's a really important part of getting people to buy it. Granny and Majula sell heals. Okay, that's over here, right? And for other games, I wasn't yeah, here we go. Oh, right, I don't have any souls. I need to. For other games, I wasn't as concerned about that. I'm a little concerned about that for this one because it's also going to be a larger game with a longer dev cycle. It will not be out this year. It may not even be out by next year. So I feel like there's a risk involved, and I'm making that risk. Oh, that's. Oh, right. She's out of them. Oh no. Obviously a mashup URL. You joke, but I do have one. I have bugbite.buzz will take you. I don't remember where it'll take you right now, but eventually it'll take you to the store page whenever that's a thing. And I keep eyeing up bug.game because that's the best URL, but it's the bug game. It's bug.game, you know? But it's like $1,700, and I'm just like, I could buy it, but is it worth it? Just put a waifu.
And the small ones are, the small life gems are still great.
Yeah, they just won't work quite as well, but I'll stock up on them anyway. How many do I have? I may not need to stock up on them. Oh, I only have 11. Yeah, I'll stock up on them. Add fishing to the... I wonder if there is a clever way I could implement fishing. I don't want to throw in, like, a fishing minigame, but... put a waifu gacha squad in it and it will sell. Yeah. Waifus do sell. I mean, there is one character who's going to be in the game that I would consider a waifu. I don't know about other people, but... Wrong... I'll have the radiant. Oh, I have these also. Okay. Actually, we can have some options for life gems. No, there won't be a sex update. That's the other thing is that it's not a horror game. And it's not like dark and gritty. I mean, maybe some people consider it dark and gritty, but it's way less dark and gritty than anything I've made since, like, I don't know. Well, since Chop Goblins. Chop Goblins wasn't very dark and gritty. Where was that? Let's see. That was here. Right? Yeah, it was here. Is it this bonfire? I think it's this one. We'll see. Well, I was thinking more mechanically, Dan Scholl. Like, I'm not opposed. Like, oh, this is the wrong bonfire. Okay. One thing I did want to try in Dusk and just never got around to actually doing was I wanted to have, was it here? I wanted to have, like, fish in the water and you could shoot them and collect them. And it would, like, put up a little message that told you, you know, how big the fish was or whatever. And that would be the fishing minigame.
I do try to put fishing in it, like pH fishing. And I love the idea of, like, you're at, like, a pond and you're fishing, but you, like, like, get a catch and it's like someone's, like, account information.
That would be amazing, actually.
Their, like, password and login name.
Yeah, that would... Okay, I think that should be added as, like, a rare thing that can happen if I ever do a fishing minigame. There'll be, like, a rare chance that you come up with just, like, 3D text of, like, someone's IP Like no, you're right, it would have to be like credit card information for it to be phishing. Yeah.
Their credit card information. It'd be funny for something kind of Cruelty Squad-esque.
Yeah. I suppose though, this is so the game is there's quite a few weapons. There's probably going to be like, I don't know, I don't want to, maybe even up to like 100 weapons, like a bunch of weapons, because it's isometric game, so they don't all need models, they just need sprites. And part of the gameplay design is sort of the Earth Defense Force thing, where you can, there's like a looter element, but it's not like a looter shooter. It's like there's a whole bunch of different weapons you can get. They're not randomly generated. So this would be maybe a situation where it would work to have one be like a fishing pole or something. I don't know. I'm not opposed. I'll think about it. Oh, I forgot to actually use the life gem.
Has 41 life gems, doesn't use it.
Yeah. Actually gonna back up, not toward the pit. Not gonna back up toward the pit. Oh, shoot. I didn't know what. Bug a door. Yeah, bug a door. No, I think the bug.game is the best URL, and I could get it, but I talked to Evan and Johnny about it, and Johnny was like, well, think of it this way. Do you think that the URL would potentially earn back like $1,700 or more? And honestly, I don't think so. It's purely just for fun. Well, not purely for fun, but it's like, I don't think right now, I don't think there's a huge amount of value in having a custom URL for a game, because it just because of how things are right now.
Dave's entire marketing strategy falling apart.
Well, no, that I did actually buy some novelty URLs that were cheap. Like I got bugbite.buzz and things like that.
Buzz is great.
Yeah, and it was cheap. Like it was like, I don't know, $10 or something. And those ones, it's like, well, it's obviously worth that to have, you know, even just to have something where you can, like I bought one for a Secret Agent Wizard Boy. We got sobatics.com because that's the acronym, and it's like that's easy to say, hey, go to sobatics.com, and then that goes to the Steam page. You know, that's valuable. But then when we start talking thousands of dollars, then it's like, that's maybe not as useful. I'm sure bug.net is expensive. Yeah, we found some ones that were like, I made sure to grab some of the Iron Lung related ones, because I was like, well, these are only going to get more expensive, as you know. Like I think there was actually a movie related one that they hadn't, the movie team hadn't grabbed, that I got. I don't remember what it was though. Oh, jeez.
Damn.
I just started using a life gem. Iron.com, how expensive could it be? The really funny one is Steam.com. Like if you go to, I think it's, yeah, go to Steam.com, and what's on Steam.com is just a like advertisement for, it's like a billboard for Steam.com for the URL. It's like, Steam has powered many innovations in human history. Think what Steam.com could do for you and your brand. Or like it's really like really like entrepreneurial. Toplessguinevere.net. I mean, look it up, see how much it is. That would be a funny one to like put the Dylan, you remember that image of it's like a someone's art they drew, and it's Guinevere and it has the basilisk like fake eyes, like positioned
Yeah.
right where her boobs would be, and so if you
Yep.
look at it, you're like, whoa, and then that's what should be at toplessguinevere.net. Okay, I'm gonna try and make this one an actual, real, proper attempt. Gonna use the big life gem. Oh no, it's 2:12. I'm gonna have to go see if at 2:30 I am gonna have to leave to see if I need to pick up lavender for Rachel.
Oh, that like random ghost was like attacking you. I was like, what?
Oh shoot, that was crazy. Okay, here's another. I thought that was going to be a fourth one. Switch to the small ones for a sec. Oh dear. Is that the area? No, that's...
She's respawning
Yeah.
her balls.
Yeah. I shouldn't be doing this here. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have done that. I thought I had time. Dang it. Bust her balls. Just win. But should I be going after the balls? Is that what you're saying? One day David will figure out the mechanic, but it's working kind of to do this. I just have to be less dumb.
You know, life gems and the Estus stack, right?
Okay. I wasn't sure. That is useful to know. Well, okay, I'll try attacking the magic ghosty balls this time and just see what it does, I guess. Not figuring out mechanics and just brute forcing it is the Souls-like way. Yeah, I know, right?
Life gem overdose mechanic.
Oh, what game is it that does have a healing overdose mechanic?
Doesn't like Call of Cthulhu have something like that?
Is that what I'm thinking of?
Dark Corners of the Earth.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe it's I? It might be I that I'm thinking of.
I definitely always think it's funny when games try to do that.
Yeah. Mr. Krabs overdose. Yeah, I swear there's another game that it might have been Dark Corners of the Earth. That game is so cool. Okay. So what did that do? It just gets rid of it?
Yeah, you won't get cursed from that.
Oh, then I don't get cursed. Unless that happens.
She's like, I don't need this. I don't need to curse you. I'll just beat the shit out of you with this.
Okay, real talk though, she is a really cool design.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that means I don't have to use the life gems. Oh, I keep pressing A there, and I don't need to press A. Okay, so the balls create the curse/ouchie field. In true Dark Souls 2 form, you have no way of knowing that you can attack those things that look like a spell effect. So I don't know why you would ever think to do that, but
I can't even remember if I even knew that, if I've ever attacked them, because I think I also assumed that, like, oh, you know, they're magic. You can't melee magic stuff.
that was my assumption, yes. Although, I mean, the game has taught me that I should assume that there is the possibility of them catching or putting a windmill out if it's on fire. Or wait, was it? Yeah, it was putting the windmill out, right? Or
oh, God, was it? It was setting it on fire,
Or
which cleansed
that's right.
the poison.
That's what it was. Yeah,
It makes no fucking sense.
0 sense. I love it. It's so funny.
Yeah, you light the windmill on fire to drain poison.
Yeah. Like, why would you even have the torch on at that point? Alright, summon them ghosts. Ooh. Okay, that gets rid of it. No hit effect either. Very intuitive. The design is very human.
The design is very human.
Yeah. I love those. Especially the ones where it's like, that would just kill you. Those are great. Let's get rid of this guy too. Oh, I didn't do it quickly enough. That's her. Oh no, that isn't her bringing them back.
That was her exploding.
Yeah. Let's heal back up. I think I actually use this too. Just try and get some good damage here. Whew, that was close. Okay. Concentrate. Oh, that's the explosion, is it? No, that's bringing the ghosts back. There we go. Okay, so what's the third final boss?
Elden Beast.
Oh no! I hate Elden Beast so much. All right. I have 0 idea what the story was here. Did I fight Venric? Did I fight Venric? I'm not sure if I did. Oh wow, look at all these guys. There is a third boss, but I didn't unlock him. That's fine. We're at over a year of it's taken to get here, so.
You will bear the curse. Once the fire is linked.
Wait, I don't want to link the fire.
And all of this will play out again. It is your choice to embrace or renounce this.
I'm not linking the fire. In Sinners, Dylan, did you, at the end when he's like, "Nah, I'm ready to leave" or whatever, when you're like, "Ooh, Dark Souls reference."
Dark Souls reference.
Yeah.
He
He's
didn't
like,
link the fire.
Yeah, he doesn't want to link the vampiric fire and live forever. He's ready to go when his time is up. It's exactly like Dark Souls.
Great sovereign, take your throne.
Just like Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's just like Elden Ring.
What lies ahead, only you can see.
So was the choice there that I could have gone back through the gate and then I wouldn't have linked the fire? Or does it depend on other things you've done throughout the run?
When did you start Dark Souls 2? Let me check. February 16th, 2024.
Oh, man. That's insane. Yeah, we got credits!
We
Yeah!
did it.
It only took 623 deaths and like a year and a half. And we're still not done because there's DLC. To get the other ending, you need to beat the third boss. Okay. Did I have to ignite another windmill for the third ending? Did you do the... I have not done the DLCs. I was told I could do them at the end, or... Yeah, those 623 deaths were before the DLCs. I am not a good video game player. Can I skip this? Maybe not. We'll let it play. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can skip it. Maybe if I press escape on the keyboard? Nope. Unskippable credits. Don't think you can refight the final boss, though. That's fine. You will listen to the peak OST of peak game. Yeah, I've never been a particularly skillful Souls player. I kind of get through these games more on brute force and not knowing when I should just give up. It is a nice song, yeah. Now that I understand the whole story, what did you think of Dark Souls 2? I have zero clue what the story was about. I am going to, well, I should probably wait until I've done the DLCs, but at some point, I'm gonna do what I did with Dark Souls 1, which is that I just went and watched a bunch of lore videos and then sort of understood it. And then Elden Ring is actually really straightforward compared to Dark Souls lore. Elden Ring is just like, yeah, here's all these people fighting. Dark Souls lore is like existential crisis. Whoa, what's going on there? What is happening? That was weird. Well, I mean, to be clear, I didn't follow Elden Ring's story when I was playing it. I mean that after watching the lore recaps, Elden Ring is easier to understand. After the lore recaps, Dark Souls 1 is still extremely confusing.
Bloodborne's story is like, oh cool, werewolves. Wait, why are all the women giving birth to like aliens?
What?
Yeah.
I gotta play Bloodborne at some point here. Did you just come into the end of Dark Souls 2? Yes and no. I have finished the base content, but I think we all collectively decided that I should continue through with the DLC because the DLC is, number one, there were two very compelling reasons that I should continue this extremely long playthrough and do all the DLC. The first one is that the DLC represents most of the most polished kind of it's like the best version of the game. The second reason is that the DLC features Horsefuck Valley. So
absolutely we have to do Horsefuck Valley.
Yeah. Now in terms of, so I didn't understand anything about the story except that it's about either linking or not linking the flame, which I have been always on board with the not linking the flame. But yeah, apparently I needed to kill Vendrick or whatever. If you understood the story, it wasn't a FromSoft game. Yeah, see, that's how you know that someone else was involved in writing Elden Ring. Because there's like parts of the lore that are straightforward and intuitive. Whereas Dark Souls lore is like, yes, light in this story does not represent something good. And that's how you know that you've gone off the intuitive beaten path, when you've written lore and where like light is not the representation of good and darkness is not the representation of bad. That's where you've completely left the path of intuitive subtext.
To get the special ending of Bloodborne, you literally have to steal umbilical cords from a bunch of women. I'm not even joking.
That's amazing.
And eat them. That's right. And eat them.
And eat them. Jeez. I mean, apparently some women do eat their placenta. Is this Twitch safe discussion? This may not be Twitch safe discussion, but apparently that is a thing. Like that is some women like save the placenta and ingest it in different ways. Rachel did not do that. She was like, "That's a terrible idea. Why would I do that?"
Is it Elden Ring about a family feud between Moldrick and Melfin and Milfo and Markoof and Marwickham?
Yeah, okay. Alright, it's not that Elden Ring lore is easy to understand. It's that relative to Dark Souls lore, it's a little bit easier. Once again, that is quite the sentence uttered by David. It's a thing! This is not something that I made up in my imagination. This is a thing that people do, and it's weird.
We're still trying to figure out how to slip in the whole people eating mummies thing from the Victorian era into Gloomwood.
That's so funny, because I can't think of something that looks less edible than a mummy.
Yeah, right?
Like, ugh.
We'll find a way.
I think Dark Souls is a lot easier to follow because the point isn't really about literal details in the same way Elden Ring is. Maybe so, yeah. I think for me it was, I think for me personally it's a little harder for me to wrap my head around the subtext of it because my brain works very much on a like good versus evil sort of paradigm. Which is funny because when I make games, there's usually not a there's not usually not like a clear delineation between the two, but I have a hard time kind of wrapping my brain around like lore or something where there isn't a concept of objective good and objective evil. That's just harder for me to wrap my brain around, and Dark Souls is like flips that idea on its head, which is really cool. Like that's what's cool about it, but also it makes it a little harder for me to be like, oh, I understand the meaning here, you know?
Dark Souls be like, here's our esoteric lore. Also, here's Big Hat Logan, who is a really big hat.
Yeah. Actually, that, somewhat topical, that's actually why I had a very hard time, sort of figuring out how I felt about Sinners, the movie, which was really good, but I could not figure out, because I felt like there were points where it was like very clearly trying to cast people or ideas or things like as like this in this movie's world is representing evil and this and but then it would flip it on its head a little bit later, which I think was all very intentional. I just, again, it's like if I don't, like my brain works very much in like there's a delineation between, you know, there is good and there's evil, and I have a hard time when those things aren't kind of laid out in a clear way. Like, I guess the best way to put it is I don't have a hard time with shades of gray, but I need to know that those extremes exist for me to be able to kind of understand and really feel, you know, what's happening.
Right, definitely.
But really good movie, really phenomenally good movie. I just got really confused where it was like, oh, okay, so I think we're casting like, you know, the sort of white person music as like this is representative of evil here, but then that sort of gets then it isn't, and then it's I don't know. I just didn't understand it, but super good movie anyway.
It's I mostly appreciate that like we're getting vampires are sort of coming back from this era of like, I'm not gonna blame Twilight for ruining vampires, but I'm glad we're getting kind of like, you know, diverse horror vampires again, rather than just, you know,
also
pretty boy vampires.
Yeah, also those are the most convincing vampires in terms of like when they do the whole the villain monologue, if he's like, "What? Here's why you should join me." That's one of the few times where he finishes, and I'm like, I am completely on the villain side here. Like, not even like, oh, I think he's sympathetic. It's like, that was a really good argument. Like, I kind of feel like I feel genuinely conflicted here. Usually when they do that thing, it's like, oh, this is dumb. Of course the hero's not going to go for it. That was one where it was like, I don't know what the right answer is here. That was a scary ass version of vampires. Like, just sort of existential, psychologically. It was just such a scary version of what vampires would be.
Yeah, it made them feel like a threat again.
Yeah, and also just the idea of, like, well, I mean, I guess it kind of spoils the movie to talk about it too much. But just the idea of, like, how that would, you know, like, psychologically, how they, you know, your loved ones are turned against you in a way that's, like, that isn't unheard of in, you know, vampire or zombie or whatever sort of monster design. But in this case, it was like, I don't know, it was just done in a way where it was a lot scarier and more kind of, yeah, anyway, the point is, you should see Sinners. It's really good. It's also a really great, it's really cool celebration of blues.
Yeah.
Which it actually reminded me a lot of, what is that? Black Snake Moan. Have you ever watched that?
I haven't, actually.
It's actually really good. It got completely, completely cheated by its poster that makes it look like it's like a sexploitation movie, and it's actually just like this really cool and really kind of heartfelt thing about like human frailty and the blues, and it's really good. And it's Samuel L. Jackson, and he's like, he has a woman chained up in his trailer, and it's great. I know that's not a very convincing selling point, but like, it's great because then she like tries
like
to
bullet point.
No, it's so okay. The concept. This is why the film didn't do well, because if you explain it, it sounds like offensive sexploitation. Because the concept is that this like this extremely debaucherous white party girl ends up like blackout drunk, and ends up like waking up in, like, Samuel L. Jackson finds her, and he's like, this woman, she's possessed with sin, and I need to make her right. So he chains her to his radiator and won't let her go until she has been cleansed of sin. And it's really funny because then she like tries to run out and discovers and then it's Samuel L. Jackson, and he just glares at her as like, get your ass back in my house. And it's great. And I say that, and you have this vision of then what the movie is, that it is not that at all. And I can't even, it's like, it starts out as being like, oh yeah, it's sort of like a, you know, homage to like blaxploitation films and stuff. And then it turns into like this, it's like a character study of both of them. And it's, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's really good though. And it's like, it's my favorite sort of, no, I can't say that, because I really like Blues Brothers, and I did like Sinners. But like, it's one of those, it's another one of those movies that it's like, let's just celebrate the blues. It's great. Anyway, it is 2:30. I love Blues Brothers.
It's so good.
It's so good. I'm going to level up, and then I'm going to have to leave. And, last film I watched was Dumb and Dumber. It's kind of similar. I promise, it's a really good movie. If you watch it, you'll understand. If I describe it to you, it sounds like absolute trash. Alright, can I get agility up? I can get agility up to 100 to 101. And up to 102? I forget.
I think, like, agility doesn't give you much after 100. I'll have to check.
Okay. I think we did figure that out last time, too. And be careful not to select Start Journey 2 from the Majula Bonfire. Okay. I will make sure not to do that. Which one is the... I think endurance is stamina. I do want more stamina. I'll do at least 1 point into that. I can only put 2 points in. Well, I'll probably break some more souls and put... Maybe I'll even put 2 points into that. Oh, that's a pretty good attack increase. I think I'll do that. And then I just need a few more souls to do another level up. Don't need many. Let's see if this is enough. Oh yeah, that's plenty.
Bearer of the until.
Dex. Yeah, I'll do strength again. Thank you for pinning that, Graham. Okay, so I'm gonna sit here just so I see what that menu option looks like. Okay, at the very bottom, don't select that one. Gotcha. So we have finally finished after, what was it, a year and a half or something?
Yeah, like a year and a half.
Finally finished the base content of Dark Souls 2. The plan going forward is to play the DLC, and my ethics and values would align me with saying I want to do it quicker than I did the base content. I don't know if I can promise that, though.
Oh, don't worry. It's not like they're any harder or anything.
Yeah, I know, right? So I do want to, but I do also, once again, I want to stream stuff that isn't Dark Souls 2 on possibly a different day. That's what I would like to do. I don't know if that is going to happen. I, for now, am out of the whole, like, apocalypse of traveling, so that will make it a little more possible for that to happen. However, being as I am married to Rachel, and being as Rachel needs to travel regularly or so she doesn't lose her mind, I can't promise that I'm not going to... I can't promise I'm going to have the time to do regular streams that aren't Friday streams. But so that's to summarize Too Long Did Not Read version. Gonna keep doing Dark Souls 2 to do the DLC. I would like to try streaming other things that are not Dark Souls 2, maybe on a different day of the week. I'll try to let people know if, I actually do start doing that. And either way, thank you guys for coming and witnessing finally the end of the Dark Souls 2-ing, so we can do Dark Souls 2, which is the DLC. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys next week. And if not, I'll see you at some time after that. Bye!